out of the closets and into the streets, for this is La Quabita time. Leave the lawyers to noon is cause the ruling for June is that slaying's a victimless crime. So we go out of the closets and into the streets. La Quabita people take charge. Sure, the road has been rocky, but the word from Pisaki is the infrastructure package is large. Show off your spirit, take straight stuff and queer it, especially current events. We've got your gay news, the them news, and they news as Love It or Leave It presents. Out of the closets and into the streets to show your La Quabita pride. Cause July until May is a little less gay, so we're making the most of the month. We're a toast of a huge celebration for queers across the nation. So grab a refreshment, join as we slide out of the closets and into the streets. Happy Pride!
Look at your bright, shimmering faces. This is so exciting. We're back. I am very excited about this. It's been a long pandemic. Fuck. I want to be clear about what I'm about to say, which is not based on anyone here or any observation I made after arriving at this event. And it is this. There's something that happens when you see somebody that you haven't seen in a year and a half after a once-in-a-century pandemic. And is that some people have this very smug expression on their faces that says, yeah, I didn't gain weight this year. Not only that, I'm not going to say it out loud. Obviously, it'd be a gauche and inappropriate thing to say out loud, given how hard this year has been for so many people, but I also lost a little weight. Shut up. I figured out a new routine and it just worked for me, even though it was such a hard time, it just sort of worked for me. And here's what I want to say to them. Don't be so fucking proud of yourselves. It is a bright fucking blinking red light over your head that says that you are a sociopath. That says that you are a sociopath. That's what that means. Your little expression. Unbelievable. Oh, sorry. That amazing song. That amazing song was by Daniel Mertzlufft and Kate Leonard. It was incredible. What a great introduction. Thank you so much to them. And if you have an out of the closet, into the streets theme that you want to send us, please do send it to us at leaveit@crooked.com. It is so exciting to be live again. Look, the next couple shows, they may be Zoom again. That may be what happens, all right? That's logistics, that's life. But the energy will be out of the closet, so we're switching exclusively to out of the closet theme. So send yours in because the songs over the last year and a half have been incredible. Thanks to everybody who have sent them in. A huge thank you to everybody watching at home. Are people watching, Matt? Yeah, good. A few? We can keep getting... Shut up, Matt. Wipe that smile off your face. But everybody watching, please consider donating. There should be a link right below me right now. If you donate to that link, it's going to the Trans Justice Funding Project, which is an incredible organization. We really wanted to find a way that you could donate to an organization where you knew that your dollars would just really matter, that they would go directly to people making the biggest difference possible in communities across the country. And the way the Trans Justice Funding Project works is you send in your donation, and then they get applications, and then they have these groups of reviewers that try to find the best place to send that money so it goes into the hands of trans organizations run by trans people in towns and cities across this country. So it's an incredible organization, and every dollar really matters. So please support that organization. We hope you like the show as well. If you don't, that's fine. Send all complaints to Crooked Media's straight ally, Tommy Vitor, on Twitter. It's at TVitor08. And we'll do our best to get back to every single comment. So we have an amazing show for you. We've got news, stand-up, deep and meaningful conversations, absolutely pointless games. But first, as always, let's get into it. What a week. I want you all to know that what I'm throwing down on the ground is the pre-written version of my attack on people who lost weight that I couldn't stop myself from doing. There it is. Okay. Bisexual icon Kirsten Sinema. She is. It's Pride. And for a second, you don't know what to do. Are we applauding Kirsten Sinema as a bisexual icon? Yeah, let's do it. No, don't do it. Not yet. Maybe, no. I don't know what to do. Anyway, she published an op-ed defending the filibuster the night before the vote in which a bill to protect voting rights failed. It is very annoying, in part because you'd think bipartisanship would be instinctive to a queer icon in this way, that bipartisanship means Democrats are the people with whom you have committed long-term relationships, and Republicans are for emergencies. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Does Kirsten know what I mean? Maybe when you're a little drunk, you know? Republicans, bipartisanship. In her op-ed, she wrote, "To those who want to eliminate the filibuster to pass the For the People Act, I would ask, would it be good for our country if we did, only to see that legislation rescinded a few years from now and replaced by a nationwide voter ID law or restrictions on vote by mail in federal elections over the objections of the minority?" Now, this frustrates me enormously, both as a fan of democracy and as a fan of hypotheticals, because the point of a hypothetical, in my understanding of hypotheticals, is to point to something very bad that could happen to affect what you do kind of in the present, not bad things that are already happening right now all the time. It's, it's not effective to say we have to negotiate or they'll shoot the hostages while they're shooting the hostages. You know what I mean? They're shooting the hostages. Also this week, General Mark Milley, chairman. So good to be back. Look at this. A live show. So exciting. Also this week, General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, discussed critical race theory and the importance of understanding and studying white rage. Here's the clip.
Sure. First of all, on the issue of critical race theory, et cetera, I'll obviously have to get much smarter on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually, for those of us in uniform to be open-minded and be widely read. And the United States Military Academy is a university. And it is important that we train and we understand. And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it. So what is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America? What caused that? I want to find that out. I want to maintain an open mind here, and I do want to analyze it. It's important that we understand that because our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians, they come from the American people. So it is important that the leaders, now and in the future, do understand it.
All right, let's
I've read
leave it there.
Mao Zedong.
He's read Mao Zedong. He's read Karl Marx. Fucking nerd alert. These fucking nerd generals. Anyway, with classic, and I think I'm going to say this correctly, I never get this right. L'esprit d'escalier. L'esprit d'escalier. How I would have said it, if I wasn't trying to impress you, is in a classic The Jerk Store Called. That's my version of L'esprit d'escalier. L'esprit d'escalier. Matt Gaetz, noted monster, tweeted, with generals like this, it's no wonder we fought considerably more wars than we've won, which is a bold statement for a man who is currently losing a war with Venmo. You call yourself a general? I've trafficked women younger than the Iraq War. Yeah. It was tough to say, too. If it was tough for you to experience, it was because it was tough for me to say. I want to focus on this terrible joke that I've just told for a moment because I really struggled in a key way, which is where to put the emphasis. Let's go over it. Let's really dwell on this awful thing I did. I've trafficked women younger than the Iraq War. Not right. I've trafficked women younger than the Iraq War. I think women was right. I think it was right to put the emphasis where I did it. Can we edit this? No, we can't. I think it was smart to go 14 months without being on stage and then do it fucking live on the internet. I think that was a great plan. I think it was a great idea, and I feel great about it. You want to know why? Because my rusty is like a lot of other people's tens. You know what I mean? I'm looking right at Emily for that arrogant piece of shit thing I just said. I want to sit on the ground after saying that out loud. Also this week, with his show coming to an end, Conan O'Brien had Seth Rogen on and smoked pot with him, which is really exciting because the finale, they're going to have Andy Richter do meth. Matt, people watching? What? Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. And finally, because this is our first live show back in a very long time, after a very hard year, I thought it was important to end by focusing on something that I think meets the moment, and to really consider how far we've come and what we've been through. And so I do want to talk about the fact that there was yet another article about whether Subway's tuna has tuna in it. That honestly is like the thing that's gotten me most agitated this week, which says something really bad about me, or maybe society, maybe both. Here's the deal. It's fucking tuna, and everybody needs to calm the fuck down. So here's the deal. The Washington Post ran a story about the fact that there's people in California suing Subway claiming that the tuna isn't tuna. I think it's a frivolous lawsuit. You know why? Because I've eaten the Subway tuna sandwich, and it tastes like tuna. And I don't really understand what the theory is. The theory is that they've spent untold sums of money to generate a fake tuna and build a fake tuna supply chain across stores all across America to make something that's almost identical to tuna. Doesn't make any sense. It's just tuna. What are people talking about? I'm going to act like I got to this next sentence naturally. You ready? Jared must be rolling over in his grave. or wherever he is. I don't know. I think he's alive. Anyway, the reason this is back in the news is because the Times did an article. You know, one of those, they did an article, classic Times thing to do. And it was, it had the subheadline, "Is Subway selling tuna?" That's like a big question to put in the New York Times. Like if you do PR for Subway, I'm not saying it's your dream job, but you care about your work and you wake up and you're like, fuck, this is a huge problem for me. This is my week. When the New York Times, if you work at Subway PR and the New York Times has a story called, "Is Subway tuna tuna?" your week is fucked. Anyway, the point is, the New York Times spends a long time telling us about the history of tuna outside of the Subway context, and then says, we tried to get the Subway tuna tested at DNA labs all across America, but none of them would do it because what they said was, it won't work. It's cooked tuna mixed with mayonnaise, salt, and pepper, and probably little bits of bread. And the reporter, to her intrepid credit, is like, I'm not taking no for answer. I'm going to find one lab that'll do it. And she did. Good for her. Little suspicious. Here's why. I cannot believe how much time we're spending on this. Why not? I don't care. We've been doing nothing for a year, entertainment-wise. Okay, so she finds a lab that is willing to test the tuna, but then the lab says, only if you don't put our names in the article. We want to test the tuna anonymously. And I've literally never heard that before. A laboratory being granted anonymity. We probably what? And they're like, well, because we may want to work with Subway in the future. Well, probably. Don't do this. So then the lab tests the tuna, and lo and behold, they're like, we couldn't find any tuna. Caveat, it's cooked food mixed with mayonnaise, spices, and little bits of bread because you pulled it off the bread. Because the reporter didn't even get tuna separate. She just ordered a bunch of sandwiches. How many more cards are tuna? Anyway, the reason I bring this up, there's no reason. There's no reason. The point is, there's no point. The point is, the lab is like, well, we can't be sure it's tuna. And also, one thing we learned from this article, which is I think one of the most interesting parts about it, is that Subway tuna is allowed to sit out for 72 fucking hours. So yeah, I imagine it didn't register the DNA in the sample. I'll close by saying this. Last October, Ireland's Supreme Court ruled that Subway's rolls had so much sugar in them that they didn't meet the legal definition of bread. And I think $5 for a 12-inch cake covered in tuna is like a pretty good fucking deal. All right. What is this show? Our Pride show. This is Pride to me. Pride can be whatever you want it to be, and this is what Pride is to me. This is what Pride is to me. We're back. This is so much fun. I'm having such a good time. Before we get to the show, please, reminder, there's a link, should be a link right below me on the screen. We are at $29,500, which is, we set a goal of $30,000, and we're going to blow through it in the first few minutes of this event, which is so amazing. But please donate to the Trans Justice Funding Project. When we come back, I'm talking with Adam Rippon, Laci, Mosley, and Hannah Einbinder. But first, the gayest moment in history.
The queerest moment in history is a two-way tie for me between the three-way kiss with Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Madonna, which I know is like cisgender straight women performing queerness, but it had a huge impact on my childhood. And the second is this puppy that I just adopted met another boy puppy, and the first thing he did was lick his butt while like humping the air. Like father, like son, I guess.
I'm gonna take you back to the early 1900s. A woman by the name of Lucy Hicks Anderson, a black trans icon, darling. And she got arrested a number of different times because she was a black trans woman, and this country has always been trash to black people and trans people and women and feminine folks. So if you all three, honey, that's the trifecta of oppression. So she got arrested one day, but she was the best cook in the city, and she was about to cater this event for this high society white man. You wanna know what he did? He bailed her out. Why? Because that's black trans power. Okay, your society can't run without black trans power, honey. And it's been happening since the early 1900s and beyond, okay? That is the queerest moment in history. That is black trans power.
And we're back. Out of the closets, into the streets. It's not just the name of this show. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. After COVID put a pause on circuit parties, which I believe is some kind of gay hackathon. I honestly don't know. I swear to all of you, I don't know what they are. I've been embarrassed to ask my whole life, and I'm going to find out during this show. Like, what are the resistors and capacitors? Does that make sense? Anyway, it was a hard year. It was a year of unprecedented visibility for LGBT people and new threats, especially against trans people. And I think stripped away, a lot of us came to understand our own identity better and how we wanted to see ourselves, how we wanted to be seen in the world when there was a world again. Plus, the game Hades came out, which was super fucking gay, and it ruled. The levels were procedurally generated, and the Greek gods all had sex with each other. Here to talk about all of it, well, probably not that. He is an Olympic figure skater and the twirling ghost haunting Mike Pence's dreams. Please welcome Adam Rippon. Hi, Adam.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Literally my pleasure.
Hello.
Hi.
We're live. We didn't really work some of this stuff out, and that's great. Oh, that's so cool. What a showman.
I'm ready for anything.
She is she is Harper in Paramount Plus's reboot of iCarly and the host of Scam Goddess. We have the goddess herself, Laci Mosley. Hi. Nice to meet you. Nice. Thanks for being here.
Yes, happy to be here.
Hi, Laci.
Is this on? Hey, okay.
So fun. And she is solely responsible for the career renaissance of queer icon Jean Smart. Please welcome Hannah Einbinder.
Woo! Hey.
Thank you all for being here. This is so fun. Adam, I wanted to first say to you, congrats on getting engaged.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah. We both got engaged.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Mazel. I might fly my boy toy to Cancun.
Wow.
Oh.
Nice. That's cool too. That's better.
Yeah.
That's better because it doesn't involve like parents. So Adam, you got engaged, but then you were long distance for a year because of the pandemic.
Well, we've been engaged. We are engaged. But we've been long distance kind of our whole relationship. But we've been able to spend like large chunks of time together. But he's from Finland. But because of the pandemic, I didn't see him for like a whole year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any long distance tips? Don't do that. Other than don't do
My
that.
number one long distance tip is maybe you shouldn't do that.
Okay. Are you sick of people asking you when you're going to get married? Because I am.
I'm not, because I always tell them that I'm just my full plan is to like just go to the courthouse. Because a wedding is so expensive and I'd just rather buy like a couch.
I really respect that, and I think it's a really good idea. But even the entertaining of this concept that I am doing right now, is killing my mother. Like right now, if she's watching. We're gonna do it with family. There's gonna be a big group of people and toasts. Not Dad. Dad will not give a toast. We made a deal at Stephanie's wedding, and the deal was this: he would only read what was on the cards. And he ad-libbed, and that was that. Last toast for Robert. I'll probably get to talk.
I'm gonna invite Robert to my wedding.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want him to stick to the cards. I want to live on the edge.
Okay. Good luck to that. I think it'll be really exciting to see what he does. He only drinks at weddings. Hannah, you played a bi character on Hacks, and you're bi in real life, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
Woo! Come on, absolutely.
Well, the reason I want to ask you about it is because I loved Hacks. Love Hacks, as I told you. I told you back. I'm one of them. You must be sick of being complimented about it.
It's only because my self-esteem doesn't allow me to take in positive affirmation, so I have to do a lot of this. Oh,
you have to it ricochets off. It has to ricochet.
Oh yeah.
It has to like bing bing. I gotta get it. Don't let it in.
Get it on Laci.
But one thing that I thought was cool in the show is that I feel like Jean Smart's character Deborah reacts to a bi person the way society reacts to bi people, which is like, wait a second, that's pretty wacky, and then she stops caring. Like, how did you feel about like how much being bi was part of the character? It was like a big deal in the moments it was a big deal, and then it just became kind of, she had an ex-girlfriend, then she slept with a guy. Like, how did you feel like it played out?
I liked that the representation was not did not dwell so much on it, because it allowed us to see sort of a bisexual person as fully formed and realized and going about their life. And so, I think the reason that it's sort of like accepted in this universe is because, Deborah Vance, sort of a queer icon, I would say. I mean, and so everyone around her is queer. So she's a little bit like, wait, what's going on? Because, Marcus and Damien are both gay, but what is this? When she's looking at Ava. So, I think that it's a lovely way to just be like, here's a fully formed person, and we don't have to like, it's not always about that, but there are little like digs here and there about it, which I think is also representative of the experience.
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't know. I'm just hard gay.
Hard. I love it. Oh, my dream.
That sounded
be so much.
Same.
Just gold star. Gold star. Laci,
Yes.
you're in a similar boat because you're playing a bi character on this show that's just coming out right now, right? It's
Yeah.
just airing on Paramount Plus. Would you say Paramount Plus's iCarly or Paramount Plus iCarly? You know what I mean? Is it SE?
like LGBTQ Paramount Plus? Yes.
Yes. But they didn't know you were queer when you auditioned.
No, that was a goal of theirs. They really wanted a queer woman, but at the same time, just because of like labor laws, you can't really be like, okay, sis, so you eat boxer and all. Like you can't, you can't, can't be like, we're gonna do just what we did in your first callback, like, and then also do eat pussy. Like you can't do that.
Wait, you can't? Because my audition process.
Like we need.
You
to
actually have to
see
eat
it.
pussy to go to the
call
Olympics,
someone.
which is crazy. So it's crazy that we've all done the same thing.
Right. I don't know, Adam. I feel like yours.
I failed. Yeah, I got kicked out.
Wow, you really overcame a lot.
I was like, it's for my country, so.
That's so. Close your eyes and think of gold.
Yes.
Um,
But yeah, so they couldn't ask, and it was. That's what we were talking about. And somehow it ended up with a eating box for the USA, and I love that for him. But yeah, so they couldn't ask. I didn't audition for the show originally. I got a phone call on a Saturday that was like, "Do you want a screen test for this?" And they were like, "The showrunner will get on Zoom with you." And I was like, "All right, shit, let's do it." And so I talked to her that day. She was cool as fuck. They didn't want this character to ever address being bi other than it was just always how she was. So by that I mean like there's no coming out story for Harper. There's no, hey guys, I like box, everyone gather around. Like we're not. It's just a normal woman living her normal life, and she dates men and she also dates women.
I'm like fully stuck in trying to find out if somebody is bi without being able to ask. And it's like, I don't even know. Like, I know you could maybe figure out if somebody's a lesbian and be like, I mean, remember Lilith Fair? And then you kind of wait a second to see if they, or something like that. Like, you go in, you can sort of like get there, like Indigo Girls stuff, I guess.
That's the mystery of the big Q, my friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's like a college roommate thing. You got to be like, yeah, because we like all made out with our college roommates. Let's wait. Just wait a second.
It does. I'm glad you brought up that the character is not coming out, because I was thinking about this when that Bachelor man came out of the closet, Colton Underwood.
Under tree.
But he came out and he like did the full rollout and he like sat down for an interview and he said he was gay, and it really felt like early 2000s to me, like somebody being like, I'm gay and I support the troops.
Which is how I did it.
That's the way to do it. I'll never forget there was one in my childhood. It was Clay Aiken, and he was holding a baby on
Clay
People
Aiken.
magazine, and then it said at the bottom, I'm gay. And I remember, I don't know who made this joke, but they were like, is the baby gay? Because we all knew about Clay. He didn't have to come out on People magazine.
That cover haunts me.
I can see it right now.
I'm the baby.
That comes.
And I'm gay, so it's
That,
crazy.
you were that, and I was that baby.
Yes, I love this for you.
So, Adam, when you came out and you were the first openly gay person to qualify for the Winter Olympic team, right?
Yes. For the U.S.
For the U.S. and the first first person member of the U.S. team to be openly gay and to medal.
Yes.
Pretty cool. I just think it's a cool
Crazy,
thing.
yeah.
Applaud him.
Yes. I was about to say,
But like, it was amazing to me that like I was like, oh my God, none of these gay guys were out when they went to the Olympics over all these years, and there was this strange like rule that like being a gay Olympian was like Provincetown on a rainy day, like gay but inside.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how I have actually described it before.
like-
Verbatim.
Was it surprising how big a deal it was to you to like break that rule?
Yeah, it was a huge shock because I had been out as an athlete for a few years at that point before the Olympics. And I think one thing that I was really afforded this opportunity of like, I was never like a favorite for gold. They were like, oh, Adam's like good. So like, good luck. But like I was never like favorite to win, so there was never that like pressure on me to like, are you like, you know, the stakes were a little bit lower. Like I would do really well if like someone like fucked up, and then I would like beat them and be like, I'm sorry, you lost to a gay guy. But like other than that, you know, it was never a big deal, and I didn't have to have like a lot of that pressure on me. But you know, being at the Olympics, it was a much bigger deal than I ever thought it would be.
So interesting. You both, like Hannah and Laci, like you both have, I think, like become like known for being bi performers, and you've become sort of celebrities as bi people. But like it's happening right before our eyes. Deal with it. It is. But you're not coming out. Like that step is sort of gone. Like how do you feel about that though? It's like, I don't know. I never came out. I just like had a gay voice when I was 17.
17? I was born
No, I mean
with my queer voice.
Oh, you're right. Let me rephrase. People started telling me that my gay voice was that I was gay. They're willing to find. Well, the bullies said it early, very early. The friends waited till I was 17. But like, what is it? How do you feel about like being like kind of on the vanguard of representing bi people? It is like a new thing. It is like Deborah Vance doesn't know about it. You know?
It's I will say that I never came out either. In fact, I guess the only way that I ever came out was like I was outed to my parents in a magazine, and it was like not a big deal. My parents are not homophobes, they're not bigots. They're more like, why didn't you tell us? You didn't feel like you could share. And I was like, if I bring a bitch home, then we can talk about it. Like there was nobody here. Excuse my language, but I'm like, I'm not dating anybody. So you know, like. I'm not dating a man, I'm not dating a woman right now, so it's just like not something I needed to like be like, hey, I want you to know about. Like I look at Tessa Thompson and I'm like, yes. Like I didn't, you know. But so I was talking actually about Tessa Thompson on a podcast, and then they're like, things to know about Laci. She's bi. We heard her talk about this podcast that we dug up from 7 years ago, and I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, like obviously with Harper and this character, it's become a larger part of my identity than it was before, which I have no qualms with. But for me, like. There are just so many people, especially in our community, who are way more marginalized and don't have as much privilege as I do. And so it feels weird for that part of my identity to be so in the forefront right now, because I'm just like, I like to amplify voices that need to be amplified. You know what I mean? Like I may be a dark-skinned black woman, but I'm still like a cis, you know, like, so.
Yeah.
Honestly, the bravest thing I did today wasn't telling people I was bi. It was that I didn't have time to go home and put on makeup, and I like came out here with my face. This is brave. Thank you. That's my Olympic gold moment. They clap for you having the Olympics, and then they clap because I have no makeup.
Yeah, actually, when we were over there, I was like, she's actually not wearing makeup, and that is kind of brave.
I mean,
Too pretty to call that brave. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
I mean, I fully echo that. It really is about the sacrifices that other members of our community have made so that we can be so free in this. And it's also like, it feels like an identity that while some people don't really like, I guess the term I will use is like non-binary identities, things that exist in a middle. But it is still, I feel like, in my experience at least, it's something that I think people, because they do see you as like having hetero relationships, they can get it. Like it feels like to me like so much, at least in my experience, again, just like speaking fully for myself, it just feels like something that was, when explained in that way, maybe like for example on the show, palatable and understandable.
Yeah. Well, speaking of wanting to raise the voices of people that don't have the same kind of privileges that we do, I want to find out where we're at, because we are, how are we doing? 32,000, that's great. Yes. That's amazing.
Woo!
That's amazing.
Yes, it's amazing.
I really want to obliterate that 30,000 number, and we have, but I want to keep going. I won't really be happy. End of thought. There's no way to end that. That'll be true. Happy Pride, everybody. No, so before we... thank you all for being here. Before we go, we're going to play a quick game, Queer People. A community with incredibly diverse perspectives and point of view. We couldn't pick one color for our flag, so we picked them all, but sometimes one opinion is correct. That opinion is mine. So in honor of accurate opinions, we're playing a game called Subjective Gay Trivia. Here's how it works. I'll ask a question about queer culture. Whoever gets it right or comes closest to getting it right gets the point. Are you ready?
Yes.
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 Whoa.
Question 1. A straight actor who ought to be grandfathered in and permitted to play gay characters.
Stanley Tucci.
I mean, that's just correct, honestly. Like, others could have gotten closer, but it's just Stanley Tucci. We have to
Wow.
allow it. It enrages me that's even a question. He's so good. He plays gay so well.
Can't argue with that.
Next question. Laci, we'll start with you. Most overrated pop diva.
Most overrated pop diva. Oh my gosh. Rita Ora.
Wow. Honestly, that reaction is not fair. It was a good pick. It was a really good pick.
Yeah, she had like
Adam for the steal.
Oh no.
Steal.
I have to steal from Rita Ora again. This is I'm doing thankless work right now.
You bet.
Okay, most overrated. I'm going to have to say that it is.
I'm so glad I did this to you.
Okay, music-wise, Jennifer Lopez.
Wow. Look, honestly, the dawning realization that it's a good and difficult conversation to have.
But listen, the face. Sorry. Oh, underrated.
Great face.
Fantastic actress.
Great.
Fantastic actress.
It's just olive oil
because
too.
Hannah got the first one. Because is that true?
The name of my doctor.
I'm going to say it's a tie. I think Rita Ora and Jennifer Lopez were both good answers. We also would have accepted Jared Leto. Best ally. You can name anybody on earth as the best ally, and I'll just be honest. I have a real and sincere answer for this. Best ally, lately, recently, recent history. But you can pick anybody, and it could be right.
A sincere answer.
I do. I know it's shocking. The rest
Do you
of them
have
aren't.
another one?
Oh, I want to say
Yeah.
Jane
I think the not
Fonda.
sincere one.
Jane Fonda, great
Wait,
answer.
I was going to say Jane Fonda.
He was gonna say Jane Fonda. You can go with Jane Fonda too if you'd like.
I was gonna go Harry Styles.
I think that's great. I wanted to do my one answer because I always love them and everything they have to say was Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. I think they're amazing.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're
That's a good
amazing.
one.
And I want to do one real one. Next one, not real. You look up through the sunroof of your 1992 Ford Explorer and you realize that something isn't right. You're not moving and the power seems to be out. Is the electric fence down? You're not sure.
Is this a question? Or?
Suddenly you hear the eerie sound of taut metal coming loose, and then in the dark, through the rain, you see it, a beast of unimaginable scale, and you realize there's nothing between you and a Tyrannosaurus Rex besides your SUV's windshield and two of the greatest pop stars and gay icons of all time, Madonna and Cher, trapped in the SUV ahead of you. You have a flare in your hand. You turn to Lady Gaga, who rode with you. She says, "We've got to save my mamas." I don't know how she sounds. Somehow it's like that. Lady Gaga says, "We've got to save our mamas," about Cher and Madonna. What do you do? Anyone can jump in. What do you do?
Okay, well, I'm definitely gonna hop in the whip and skirt back because where's Beyonce? So, like, I gotta go save Beyonce first. Sorry.
That's gonna be tough to beat. Adam.
Yeah. I actually took the words out of my mouth when you went skirt back. And so after I would do that, I would actually, obviously electric fence out, Madonna, famous electrician. I would have her fix the fence, Cher in the car. She needs to sit down. And then we go. Then we're out of there.
Then we go and we're out of there. All right, that's a pretty good answer. You can steal it. It's gonna be tough. Those are good answers.
Yeah. Well, I think I would the question is what
What do you do?
What do you do?
What
That's all-
do
you
you?
have
Where is the
share-
writer who wrote this?
Sure.
Where
I'll give-
are you?
oh.
I know you're in here. It's you. Is it you?
It was me. It's such a it was a crazy thing to
It's
do. It was 2
fantastic.
a.m. and I'd eaten an edible.
I love it. I love that. Okay, so
You have a flare, and just a reminder, the Tyrannosaurus Rex's vision is based on movement.
Oh.
So you
Oh,
could.
share. Obviously, not moving much.
She's on TikTok, Adam. Shame on you.
I would try to position the flare to get the dinosaur in the eye.
That's a great
and
answer.
then so disarm the dinosaur, grab the girls, and go.
I think it's a great answer. I think sadly you would perish in that
I would
outcome,
perish.
but you'd die saving Cher and Madonna. You've won that round. That was
What?
your correct answer.
Wow.
We all also
for
would
me.
have accepted. Tell Scooter Braun to run with the flare as fast as he can, because I don't know that he knows that the T-Rex's vision is based on movement.
One of many things that he doesn't know, but we'll find out. Yeah.
It does say
I
all
wanna
of it on the
keep
card.
this.
Best ally from the TV show Friends. It can be a cast member or a guest star.
I think Phoebe is
Phoebe?
the best ally.
Okay. All right. Some thoughtful applause for Phoebe.
Yeah.
Laci.
I'm going. Aisha Tyler, the one black lady that was on that show.
Great answer. Great answer. I'll just be honest with you. She is the runner-up to the correct answer. I'm letting you know that in advance. It was a great choice, but not correct.
I want to say, I want to. God, I have to be honest. I didn't watch that show.
That's also correct.
That's also correct. Yeah.
That's the correct answer.
Wow.
You got it. Hannah, you got it.
I didn't watch
We
it.
also would have accepted Tom Selleck because it's the only character in the history of the show that was confident and safe in his own masculinity.
Okay.
Think about it. Think about one other character that was comfortable being just a man in the world. Because that's allyship. We're learning. I want my camera. It's not on. We're learning. You've all won the game. Thank you so much to Adam, Rippon, Laci, Mosley, and Hannah Einbinder. When we come back, gay news, but first, the gay agenda.
Part of the gay agenda I think we should consider amending.
That was amazing.
We need our own country. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Like, queer people are some of the most creative, kind, smart, giving people in the world, and I'm so sick of having to jump through hoops. There's like no country where queer people aren't just given the rough end of the stick. So I say we like pool our money, because we're all pretty wealthy without babies, and like buy Australia, and then just turn that into our home.
Well, you know, I consider myself to be the president of the BFB Society. In case you're not familiar, BFB stands for Big-Footed Bitches. And I firmly believe that we need to add to the queer agenda getting shoes for us big-footed bitches in the department stores. Now, if you want to wear a heel and you happen to have a foot size over the size of 12, you gotta go to the same place that the drag queens and the sex workers get their shoes. And don't get me wrong, shout out to them, but like, them shoes ain't always comfortable. I don't care what they say, y'all. Sometimes you just want a sensible heel, okay? Sometimes you don't want a platform heel. I want to be able to go to little department store, you know, little Macy's, little something, get me a little heel, okay? So we need big-footed bitches shoes in the department stores. Please add that to the agenda. Please and thank you. Amen.
And we're back. I hadn't seen those. This is so funny. Travell, what a delight. We're back, right? Yeah, we're back. He is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, a Grammy nominee, bane of evil men, and of people who think we should just, like, try not to use the phone in bed as much. Because of the light and how it affects people's sleep. Please welcome Ronan Farrow. Over here, Ronan.
Oh, is this for me?
Hi.
This is so beautiful, you guys. This is nice. Hi. I have so much social anxiety right now. This is a crowd. This is crazy.
I
haven't
don't think
seen people. I don't know how to be with people anymore.
I don't think
All right,
people
what are
as
we doing?
symmetrical as you
drink-
have
the
social
drink is-
anxiety.
We do. We have more. We're
Don't-
more insecure.
Wow, he managed to accept the compliment as true. He
I'm
just
very
bought the
self-centered.
premise. He bought the premise. You handsome son of a bitch. All right. Before we start, there was one thing I wanted to talk about with you, which is this.
Is now the time?
Yeah, sure. Specifically, why I was frustrated that you chose this year to be nominated for a Grammy. Here is why. In a normal year, it was for his audiobook.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting my accent work.
The voices were polarizing. It was polarizing, but well received, deeply well received.
It was the right creative choice.
But he's nominated for a Grammy, and in a normal year, look, I'm never gonna get nominated for a Grammy. Let's face it. That's a peace I've made with it. Thank you, Paul V, for allowing to just open.
It could happen.
Making your eyes say you could be, but I can't be. And so my only chance to go to all the coolest parties where it's like, is that Beyonce over there? Is that another famous singer?
We
Adam
only know
Wa-
the one famous person. That's our cultural frame of reference.
I'm literally trying to think of one.
She is, in fairness, the one that you want to run into, probably.
Bruno Mars. The name I was going for was Bruno Mars.
Okay. Yeah,
The
he'd
point
be
is,
cool.
in a normal year, I would have
happening
gotten to be, I'll tell you in a second, I would have gotten to be his first live show in a year. First crowd.
I know. How's he doing?
He's fine. All right. The point is, in a normal year, I would have gotten to go as a +1 on my +1 world tour to like Clyde Davis's party and this other thing and look at those celebrities, and I would have met all these people and put on a tuxedo jacket and then felt a little self-conscious, but then had a drink and felt great. And instead, this was the experience of being your +1 at the Grammys. You're sitting in front of a laptop, you turn on the ring light, you go like this. I lost to Rachel Maddow.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
how it
the
went.
full extent of the fucking Grammys. That sucks.
That was the Grammys journey. There was a Clive Davis party invite, but it was a Zoom.
Please.
Yeah, you don't get to run into Beyonce.
I don't even think you should have brought that up. Anyway, the point is, what are we doing here? Oh, yeah.
We have
But
cards.
gay news.
I'll get better at that as we do more.
I hope you don't. It's time for gay news. You know what happens. We're just going to read some gay news.
Great.
In May,
I don't get all these jokes, by the way. There's like fully half of them that I just don't get. I'm winging it. Not half, a couple.
Gay news. In May, Demi Lovato came out as non-binary, which explains why they got so mad at that froyo place for saying there are 31 flavors but only 2 genders. Gay news. Sure.
That's the tradition, right?
You're supposed to be. You've never heard a goddamn word of this show.
Late in the cursed year of 2020, Eliot Page, star of Juno, came out as trans, which is awesome because now a trans person can ask all the expositional questions in a Christopher Nolan movie. Did Eliot Page come out, or was it a dream within a dream within a dream?
Gay news. World War II codebreaker Alan Turing became the first gay man on a British banknote. This is the UK's way of saying their 1952 prosecution of Turing for homosexual acts was a bit of a sticky wicket. Gay news.
In good gay news, the VA will begin offering gender confirmation surgery to trans veterans. But because the VA believes at long last that trans people should be treated like everyone else, the paperwork will take 3 years.
Gay news. In the 3rd episode of Marvel's Loki, the god of mischief, confirms he is, and this is a spoiler, bisexual. I like this night manager. Would love to see him as a morning manager. There's something there. I know that it doesn't work. I knew when I said let's print the cards that it wasn't work.
That he was in the night manager.
I think he was the night manager, right?
He played the night manager.
Right? Was he not in that? Then it doesn't work. No, he's the night manager.
Not one person in this audience has seen the night manager.
Has somebody seen the night
Not
manager?
one.
It was
No
one here saw
one
the
knows.
night manager.
No one has any idea.
I think he was in it.
We don't. The joke doesn't work.
Gay news. Do the next one.
In April, to the dismay of conservatives everywhere, the Devil's Boyfriend, Lil Nas X, dropped "Call Me by Your Name." Great Great song, great video. Conservatives were pissed. When you sleep with the devil, it better be a right-wing dictator, otherwise it's just offensive.
Gay news. Bachelor star Colton Underwood came out as gay amid controversy. The controversy makes no sense because the Venn diagram of people who love The Bachelor and people who hate dramatic twists look like two circles on the opposite sides of the fucking universe. Gay news.
Just last week, Carl Nassib became the first active NFL player to come out as gay. Nice. Carl, how active are we talking?
Hey. Hey.
That's the joke, right?
I guess.
Who wrote these?
Gay news. Sesame Street celebrated this Pride Month by introducing two gay dads, yet Bert and Ernie are still just roommates because everyone is on their own timeline. Gay news.
Chipotle offers drag stars go-to orders to raise money for LGBTQ charities. Guac's still extra, though. They're allies, not idiots.
Gay news. And finally, American Idol alum David Archuleta. This is so not right. American Idol alum David Archuleta says he's an LGBT community member. God made me how I am, he said. Yeah, runner up.
That is so mean.
Can you believe that?
He's an angel.
He's so wonderful. Pallavi, you should be sorry.
Man,
it was
I
such a
am so excited that it is Pride.
Pallavi, shame on you. It was so funny. I had to do it, but so mean. Sweet David Archuleta. He was sweet when he was on the show. His coming out story was so earnest, and here I come in with this filth.
I mean, it is funny.
It's funny.
But it's too mean.
Matt, where are we on the donations? $33,500. Donate at crooked.com/Pride Fund. And that's gay news. Any parting thoughts for Pride, Ronan?
Be full of it and give money to this good noble cause.
Look at him.
Should have prepared more for this.
Look at him, Ronan Farrow, so handsome. Look at him.
You. Thanks everyone for having me.
Thank you, Ronan. When we come back, RB and Brendan Scannell. But first, a somewhat haunted rant from the gay zone, Eliot Glazer.
Okay, that's it, huh?
Oh, man, I am so excited that it is Pride Month. I have so much pride as an openly gay man, and it's really nice to know that in a month like June, especially after a year we had with COVID, I'm not sure you heard about it, but it was a thing. It's nice to know that there are places to go for respite where queer people can go and live their most authentic lives, like Palm Springs or Miami or Fire Island. Fire Island is a specific place filled with mostly white men, where there's a lot of fun to be had, hijinks. And I'd like to say that I don't need to see it. It's not my thing, but I'm glad you're having fun. I have fun too. I think naps are fun, and I love naps. I like a one-on-one kind of quiet thing. But listen, have a blast. Congrats to everybody who's out there dancing and filming it. I just don't need to see it. But I'm also in my parents' basement, so who's to say?
And we're back. Susan Sontag. In 1964, she wrote her seminal work, Notes on Camp, which was buried by the sands of time until the devil wearing Prada declared camp the theme of the Met Gala in 2019. Since then, the LGBTQ community, the Alphabet Mafia, has reasserted their claim on camp. But what's the most camp? Summer camp, campaigns, the hippocampus? Here to help crown the campiest. They are stand-up and writer. Please welcome RB. Hi, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for me.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
How you doing?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Wow, faces.
Faces.
You have a face, John.
Full-on face.
You have a full-on face.
More than when I went into the quarantine.
Yeah, I got a lot more face too. I feel like.
I like it.
I gained.
I
some
like
face.
my.
Thank
I
you.
like having more face.
Yeah, I like that you have more face. John.
Thanks. Oh no, I made it weird again.
It's great.
I made things weird before I didn't see people for a year. And he is the star of Netflix's very kinky comedy Bonding. Please welcome Brendan Scannell. Hi, Brendan.
Hi. Oh, wow. Oh, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I haven't been in front of people in years.
This is fun. All right, here's how it works. So first of all, we have celebrated ally Caroline Reston coming on stage with our bracket. Guys, give it up for Caroline Reston. This is what allyship is all about. It's about holding a
Corkboards are camp.
Corkboards are camp. So now, here's the deal. We have a bracket. I know brackets are known for March Madness. You're doing so good.
Here we go.
You're doing so good. Here's the thing. I know this doesn't look like a sports bracket because nobody who knows about sports bracket was involved. And like in hindsight, sure, there should be lines and it should move towards the center. That did not occur to us until deep into the process.
I like that you have queered the bracket. Like this is a queer version of a bracket. Like let's not have lines. Let's not have binaries. It's just there's
cards
on a cork.
This is like something like a 15-year-old gay boy would put on his wall, and he's like got a Rent poster above it.
That's our March Madness. Because it's June Madness. This. So anyway,
You just like disassociated.
I'm actually a little bit stuck on Laci talking about her parents finding out that she was bi because she didn't have anybody to bring home. And I'm remembering that when I came out to my parents, they were like, "Have you kissed a girl?" I was like, "No." "Have you kissed a boy?" I was like, "No." They're like, "How do you know?" And I was like, honestly, now I'm not sure again. Shut up. Don't pity me. It's fine. I'm here because of that. Anyway, here's how this works. We're going to declare what is the campiest, and then Guy Branum, who is literally in the south of France, will at some point catch wind of this and tell me that we were wrong in our choices and potentially to do this at all. So here's how this is going to work. Brendan and RB are going to just help us figure out the answer to this bracket on in the March Madness, June Madness, Camp Madness, Sweet 16. We have, I'll just tell everybody what we have in advance. Joe Manchin's Houseboat, The Almost Heaven, Bitcoin, fanfic about Shrek, the part of Cruella where dogs killed their families or whatever, the stand-up at the beginning of Seinfeld that got cut for time and syndication, the 2021 New York City mayoral primary, TikTok grandmas, Chromatica Oreos, double stuffed Oreos, the Imagine Celebrity video, and the Gal Gadot apology, everyone accepting Ellie Kemper's apology for the Eyes Wide Shut dance, turning the built-in zoom filter to max, Mar-a-Lago, the 1991 film Nothing But Trouble starring Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, and Dan Aykroyd, Jeff Bezos going to space, and Jeff Bezos dying in space. Let's go through it.
Great.
Your first category, Brendan and RB, it's fanfic about Shrek versus the stand-up at the beginning of Seinfeld that got cut for time and syndication. What is more campy?
Definitely fanfic about Shrek. I don't think there's anything camp about Seinfeld.
Okay, that's it. Then you know
Yeah.
what? Let's get this shit off the board.
I totally agree with that. I feel like the Seinfeld cut for time is like saying, "Is the dentist camp?" And I don't think that applies.
All right, we have a winner there. All right, everyone accepting Ellie Kemper's apology or the Gal Gadot apology for the Imagine video. It's a tough call.
I have an immediate reaction to this, which is Gal Gadot apology. That is the camp for me.
I feel like I've been off Twitter for like 2 years and I have no idea what these things are.
Oh no, that's such a good response. Fuck, my brain's broken by dumb internet stuff made by evil, weird corporations.
Wait, you said the Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's definitely more camp. I think there's something, I don't know, horrible about that. Racist.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Racism's not camp.
Turning the built-in zoom filters to max, or the part of Cruella where dogs killed her family or whatever.
This is a tough one. Because I feel like turning the zoom filter to the max is in its heart incredibly camp. You know, you're pushing for something and you're bringing people in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're smoothing out your face and putting your face forward.
Exactly. Exactly.
Smooth and forward.
And then Cruella. How do you out camp Cruella? To
Yeah.
film?
I think there's an element of camp where like you can't be trying too hard though.
Yeah.
And there's something maybe a little
Well,
try hard
argues for
about
Zoom.
getting killed
About
by
Cruella?
a bunch of dogs.
Little sweaty.
Do you think a prequel is inherently uncamp because you must be dropped into the camp to understand and appreciate the camp? To explain the camp is to make it uncamp. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Absolutely.
That sounds right.
Hey, I went to college for a little while at least.
I've started this Susan Sontag article about 3 times and never finished it.
I have so meaning to read it before we did this segment on my show.
I have it on a wish list.
You know what? We're giving it to the Zoom filter. I
Great.
feel like that's where our hearts were.
That's
where our hearts were.
I feel right about that.
I think this one, I'm curious what you think. Jeff Bezos going to space or Jeff Bezos dying in space?
Dying in space,
It's
definitely.
just clear. It's just so
All
clear.
right.
Because look, here's the thing. I don't know exactly when Jeff Bezos is going to space. He really may die up there. No amount of money makes safe space. Safe space. Space safe. No amount of money makes safe. No amount of money makes space a safe place. A safe space. No amount of money makes space a safe space. The point is,
Yes.
Jeff Bezos may be dead in 2 weeks, at which point we won't be able to use this clip anymore. But for now, in this moment, living
That's
in
right.
the present, that works.
I thought you were having an aneurysm. Just
Yeah.
I did. I'm in real medical trouble. Okay. Next, chromatic Oreos or double stuffed Oreos? I think I know where your heart is. I know what you want to say.
My heart is in double stuffed Oreos.
Right.
I don't know what Chromatica Oreos are.
So Lady Gaga for Chromatica released
got it. Yes.
a line
No, I
of
saw those
Oreos.
in a
Classic line of
Mexican
Oreos.
restaurant in Carmel by the Sea.
Camp. Okay, that wins.
Yep.
But I think you're right that double stuffed Oreos are more camp because they're not assuming they are what they are.
It was like an Oreo executive was just like, but what about double?
Yeah.
And that worked. Let's get
Also, the use of the word stuff in this situation,
Yeah.
I think, is important.
To be stuffed.
this camp. Is being stuffed camp? Yes.
Incredibly.
Next,
Incredibly.
Mar-a-Lago or Joe Manchin's houseboat, which is called Almost Heaven. A West Virginia senator, he invites bipartisan groups of senators onto his houseboat. The Almost Heaven is at camp.
Is there like a river in West Virginia that they go to? A lake?
Oh no, it's in
At some
D.C. It's
point,
on the
yeah.
Potomac. It's his it's his home away from home.
Yeah, he doesn't spend time in West Virginia.
I was just like, is it in a coal mine?
Question: is there foam plateware on his houseboat?
There's just got to be. There's just
Yeah.
got to be.
I
Bunch
think
of
we gotta
ketchup
go
bottles?
with the idea of a houseboat is
Yeah.
camp.
Camp. It is
Yeah, it
camp.
is
Yeah, let's
camp,
get
yeah.
Mar-a-Lago out of there. We don't have to think about it anymore, too. Get it out of there. Boom. All right. The 2021 New York City mayoral race or TikTok grandmas. Is it Andrew Yang versus Eric Adams versus Maya Wiley versus Diane Morales versus Diane Morales' own campaign, which did eat itself alive? what that was fucking. By the way, that's fucking camp. A campaign imploding the way that it did. I don't care. Listen, I don't care about your politics. All right, that's fucking camp.
Yeah.
Gotta face it.
I think sort of like making a bunch of queer people stop posting about pride for a second to then be like, I voted. That felt camp from
yeah.
afar. But TikTok grandmas is something I also know nothing about.
Sure, yeah. I also feel like the mayoral races need to focus on Times Square as though that is New York City, as
Is
the central place and location, as though people, live and work in Times. People work. You don't understand. It's Times Square. It's a board game of a place. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like to me, it's the 2021 New York mayoral
I
race.
agree.
All right, it's done. It's done. All right, next, 1991 film Nothing But Trouble starring Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd playing a judge, as well as, I believe, 2 giant evil babies versus Bitcoin. It's tough.
It's a tough one.
It's a toughie.
It's a tough one.
It's a toughie.
Because you have, a fake thing completely made up that's destroying the Amazon.
Which is camp. Destroying the Amazon is camp.
It's camp. That's my understanding of Bitcoin, at least.
Yeah,
Venmo is trying to
don't
get me to
get
use
it.
it. So, or a campy movie. It's tough. It's tough.
I think there's something camp about anything involving Dan Aykroyd because he loves aliens. Like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he just feels
And vodka.
and vodka, alien vodka.
Alien vodka. Crystal Head.
He seems well. I don't know. Chevy Chase is like a huge asshole though. So is he here?
Oh my God.
Is he watching?
What if Chevy Chase is watching this stream? That's so fun to think about.
I don't know. I feel like I gotta go with the pandemic more. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Oh, that was a great joke. That just
I
fell
liked
totally
it. I
flat.
liked
Thank you,
it.
John.
I really liked it. I heard the wordplay. I enjoyed
You got it.
was
You
just
got it. It
you
was
and me
for
then.
you. It
That
was
was
for
just
you.
you and me for a
Demi,
second.
okay, I
That's
get it. Sorry.
We're going with nothing but trouble. It's been chosen. It's done.
Great.
Bitcoin is done. It's just destroying the Amazon down there. All right. Let's do a lightning round to get to the most camp on this board. Fanfic about Shrek versus the Imagine celebrity video for which Gal Gadot issued a semi-apology about her heart being in the right place, but it not maybe having the right tone.
Imagine celebrity video for me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, fanfic about Shrek.
It's more erotic.
That's right. Yeah.
I gotta show. I mean, not the fanfic that I watch. Read? I don't know.
All fanfic is inherently erotica. That's what you need to know.
That's right.
Next up, turning the built-in zoom filter to max or Jeff Bezos dying in space.
Space death.
Yeah,
for
let's
me,
go
big
with Jeff
time.
Bezos.
Here's
Come
the
on.
thing. It's a look dark horse favorite. It's
Yeah.
the Duke of this thing. I don't know
That's
what
right.
that means.
Boss
people say
Baby
that.
dying in space is what the movie we need to see.
Boss baby dying in space.
Boss
Double-stuffed
Baby
Oreos.
in space. Sorry.
Double stuffed Oreos versus Joe Manchin's houseboat. What's camp?
Joe Manchin's houseboat. Come on.
Come on, get these double stuffed
I agree.
Oreos out there. The 2021 mayor's race versus the 1991 film Nothing But Trouble. Reminder, it is about a coal mine town in which Dan Aykroyd is the judge. John Candy is both the cop and the wife.
Oh.
You know, I got to go with mayoral race for me.
I'll throw my hat in the ring on that one too.
Okay.
Times Square is just gonna outweigh
Nothing
Dan
But
Aykroyd
Trouble.
every time.
Trying too hard to be camp. That's correct.
Yeah.
All right, we're in the final four. Imagine versus Jeff Bezos. Dying in space. Just reminder.
You
just
don't have to convince me.
Yeah.
That one is.
I just want to
that's-
remind.
This was in black
a
and
no-
white, and they made eye contact with the camera. They looked into the camera for this. They took themselves so seriously
A
in their
personal
10-bedroom
assistant
houses.
edited it.
Yes, it was edited.
Really heavily edited. One other thing just to add is that Jeff Bezos did film a video talking about how he always dreamed of going to space, as if that's a fucking reason. Oh, you're the one who wanted to go to space? Yeah.
He's a very unique guy.
So what are we going with? What are we going with? What's our answer? It's a big decision.
I think for me, like Jeff Bezos is so buff now. Like the idea of like his whole face imploding as he loses oxygen in the last moment, and his veins pop out, and he turns, you know, the way cold people die in space. Dying in space is a very camp way to die.
Yeah, that's tough to argue with. You good? You
Yeah,
good?
I'll
All right.
go with it.
All right.
I'm happy to.
I mean, you made a really strong case for this, but
I'm happy to imagine all the people that guy dying in space.
the Joe Manchin's houseboat. By the way, not a top seed. Surprising performer,
Oh,
Joe Manchin's houseboat. I would
Cinderella.
have thought it would have lost earlier. Yeah, Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Joe Manchin's houseboat being almost
hot.
heaven, being
Yeah.
camp versus the New York mayor's race. What do you think?
Why isn't it just called Heaven?
Well, because of the John Denver song, because of
Oh.
Almost Heaven, West Virginia.
Yeah.
It's a
Which
it's-
is why he lives in D.C.
I see, right. I think part of things being camp is not getting a reference, you know, where you sort of like
Sure.
pretend you understand
no,
what
that is
something
camp.
is. and
That's 100% camp.
That's
Like-
Andrew Yang's entire campaign. So,
I have to take a back seat on this choice.
it's tough, but I want to go with the mayoral race because I don't want to see Joe Manchin win anything.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
I think that's good. All right, it is time for the final two. What do they call it?
A finale.
Finale.
Yeah,
they call it the
finals.
season finale of June Madness. The finals. Oh, they call it the finals. What's
The
the four one
championship.
called? The gruesome foursome? The quad core
Final four.
semifinals.
Final four.
Final four and semifinals.
The Fab Four.
Who takes the camp prize? The Sontag, the Santi,
Oof.
the Susan.
What do you think?
I know who I want, and it's that sweet, sweet death.
Yeah, I'm happy to go with death to Jeff Bezos. You know, I'm happy to go with it.
Just like
We all
full
wanna
like
see
George
it.
Clooney in Gravity, him being like, I'm gonna do a spacewalk, and then somebody being like,
Yeah.
and him floating away.
And then a little bit of Total Recall with it.
Yes.
It just cuts. It literally cuts to Total Recall.
Well, we have our champion, the campiest of camp. It's Jeff Bezos dying in space.
We did it.
Thank
really
you
did
so
it.
much. Thank you so much to RB and Brendan Scannell. When we come back, I don't know. Oh, we have a video. The best. Do we? What do I do now? Matt. Oh, yeah, the comedian. When we come back, Jared Goldstein is here. But I think I fucked it up. We don't have a break. You guys gotta go. You gotta go.
Oh, God.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much. That was so great. Bye, 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 bye. I lost all my. Oh, here it is. You know what? Honestly, this could have gone so much worse. First of all, before we get to that, where are we? 36,900. I want to get to 50. Let's try. Come on. Everybody watching, we can do a little bit better. Up next, he is an actor, writer, and a hilarious stand-up, here to tell jokes while standing up. Please welcome Jared Goldstein. Or sitting. Hi.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello. How are you? This is great. I'm so excited to be here. Hi. All right. The chat. What do you guys think? We'll find out. I've been told that I have a unique look, and I agree. Like I once got a text from a friend that said, "At Trader Joe's, saw a lesbian from behind, thought it was you." And I texted back, "I'm at Trader Joe's." Love TJ's. Yes, hate Uber. I hate Uber, and I know that that's like brave to say in front of so many Uber drivers. Thank you for the gum. So I just got my very first car. It is a brand new 2011 Mazda 2. Thank you. It has 115,000 miles on it. It's gonna explode. It will. I don't know anything about cars, but Kelly Blue Book Value is a great drag name. This much we know. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to flip coins. Ooh, are we getting a pick? Okay, that's my time. Thank you so much. Okay. When I was a kid, I used to flip coins. Heads, I'm straight. Tails, I'm flipping again. Yes, I was closeted all through high school. My prom date was super religious. So she was like, okay, when we meet my parents, we have to act like nothing is going to happen here tonight. And I was like, great. When we meet my parents, we have to act like something is going to happen here tonight. Yeah. Everyone called me Metro because I had sex on a train. Yeah. And everyone thinks that I'm a bottom. Turns out people are pretty good at thinking. You thinked right. So if anybody here thinks they're a top, you know where to find me. Yes, I love MMA, but for the wrong reasons, obviously. It is literally gay porn. That's why you have to pay for it. It is so hot. The MMA stands for mama, 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 mama. Thank you. Actually, as a kid, I was put in karate class, which is racist. And I was actually kicked out of that class, which was homophobic. Yeah. My favorite is when straight guys are like, sorry, I'm straight. Right? Like letting me down easy. It's like, come on, man. Like if anything happened here, you would be the least hot guy I have ever been with. And I would be minimum third hottest woman you've ever been with. Thank you. Straight guys, right? I could just choke them until I come. Hi, Mom. She's watching. Did you guys know that a few years back, the actress Faye Dunaway, she got sued by her gay assistant for calling him a little homosexual boy? If we can sue for that, I am getting paid. Also, I am getting sued. That's my go-to. Yeah. And sometimes I wonder if my life would be easier if I were straight. Mostly because, like, at least twice a day, a woman will tell me, "Oh, I wish you weren't gay." And it's like, yeah, well, I wish you weren't my mom. Call it even. We got a snort. That was great. Yeah. I'm so excited that we're all back together and we're getting to be in the same room and we can perform again. One of my favorite shows ever, I got to perform at an LGBT center for gay seniors. They were so cute. They were all like in their 30s. Sounds like we got some Golden Girls here tonight. All right, that's my time. I'm Jared Goldstein. Thanks, everyone.
That was great. Thank you. Thanks, Jared Goldstein. Guys, give it up for Jared Goldstein. That was so funny. Do we have a video now? We have a video now. I didn't even need to come up here.
I've gotta go down in the valley, okay, where the girls get naked. If you throw in bands, they surely gonna shake it, all right? That's from the show P-Valley, and there's a character there called Uncle Clifford. She's this non-binary badass motherfucker, honey. Okay, if you're not watching P-Valley, I need you to go on and get your Star subscription. That is the best LGBTQ character on television, probably in a long time, okay?
For me, for the past few years, has been Roger from American Dad. Now, if you're not like a 14-year-old at heart, you may not know the show, but it's like a conservative family structure cartoon. And then Roger is their alien that they live with, who is like pansexual, non-binary. I just think it's so cool that the most advanced character, you know, this character that's like thousands of years old and so wise and so advanced is queer. And I think that's very cool.
And we're back. Queer people, we love finishing each other's sentences. When you connect with someone on the level that we do, it's like being able to read someone else's mind. So we took the classic American game show password, we made it gayer, and here we are. Here's how it works. There will be two teams. Here's how it works. One partner will get a queer term along with 3 phrases they cannot use to describe it. Their partner will have to guess that term. Here to play. She is the first drag queen elected to public office in the U.S. Please welcome Maebe a Girl. Hi, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. So exciting. And she is an incredible stand-up and newly minted action star. Please welcome Tig Notaro. We're shaking? Oh, that's kiss your own hand. That's so cool. That's such a cool move.
Thank you.
Never seen somebody kiss their own hand.
Happy to do it again.
Thank you both for being here. First of all, thanks for being here. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Where are we on the numbers? We hit 40,000. That's cool. So thank you both for being here and agreeing to play our password game. You each have your clues.
Yes.
And we will start. One of you will have the clue, and there are forbidden words that you are not allowed to say. Matt is going to show the audience what it is, and then in post, we're going to put it up on the screen. It's low tech. We're figuring it out. It's our first show back. Shut up about it. We're doing the best we can. It's a really good show so far, I think. Let's kick it up. And I'm going to be here to monitor to make sure that you don't say any of the words you're not allowed to say. Tig, you want to kick us off?
Sure.
Great.
I've never seen or played this game, so I'm just going. How do I get into it? What do I? How's this going?
What do
so
you have?
far?
It's going so good. Oh, you go. We have the same one. Here's what you have to do. You just have to get maybe to guess
just
that
say this?
without saying these things.
And so do I say this?
No, you can't say that. That's the one thing you cannot say. Actually, one of the 4 things you cannot say.
All right.
You have to get her to say this without saying this.
All right. I can say it's a movie.
You bet.
Thelma and Louise.
That's right.
Oh my God, is it really?
No.
Oh God. It was a good guess.
It's going so good so far.
All right, so it's a movie, and do I just keep saying things?
You bet.
Okay, it's a movie, and
The Mask.
These are such good guesses. They're such good guesses, and you're not helping her at all.
okay, I would.
That's without any clues.
And I'm assuming you mean Mask with Cher.
Yeah, not Mask for Mask.
Okay, so it's a movie with, and it's like.
With Cher, you said mermaids.
No, it's not with Cher. I've
Oh,
really
okay.
misled you. It is a movie. It's a gay male movie.
Not familiar.
It's kind of country.
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yes!
You got it.
Oh my
That
God!
was good.
One clue.
One clue. Maybe you're up.
I'm gonna win this.
Let's see.
Okay. All right. So this is a person. They're running for office. It's not me, even though I'm running for Congress in this district. California District 28. But they're not running for this person.
I know the
She's
answer.
not doing it.
I know the answer.
And you probably don't like her.
I know the answer, but also the answer just went up on the screen.
Did you saw it though? You saw it?
For sure, I saw it.
Okay.
That's why I'm telling you about it.
Come on, Matt. Come on. Trying to run an operation here. We're trying to raise money for trans people. Do you not care about that?
I drove 12 minutes to play this game.
12
and
minutes.
Let me
Tig
just
was
say
in the
that
car. At rush hour.
She also drove somewhere.
Caitlyn
and-
Jenner.
Yes. Yes.
I just want you all to know that one of the phrases you weren't allowed to use was vehicular manslaughter.
I never said that. I never said vehicular manslaughter, even though I thought it.
I should have done this. Caitlyn Jenner. Just read it off the screen there.
Tig, you're up. Your clue is next. You're doing so great.
Who's winning, by the way?
You're both winning. That's what Pride's all about.
Okay, this is a TV show.
The Seventh Heaven.
I love the aggressive guessing.
You are so good. It's the Waltons. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Walmart.
It is a TV show, and the host.
RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yes.
Shut up. Am I right?
You got it. You got it. Wow, you know what this is?
Okay, that was too easy.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think is you're making it look easy, but there's a connection that's wordless, thankfully.
There's a connection, and we're
That's
intelligent.
worthless?
It's wordless.
Oh,
wordless.
I was like,
no, it's deeply great
you
worth.
two have a worthless connection.
Maybe you're up.
Okay, so it's not a rock, but something
It's
else.
up on-
What? It's up. It's up on this. Yale, did Tig pay you? What is going on?
I like this guy's style.
So, do you know the answer already? It's not a rock. It's.
Is it a stone?
It is, and it's like a barrier, but it's like
A wall?
Yes.
Stone wall?
You
You
got
got
it.
it. Amazing. That is
Oh my God, you're so good.
Wait, is that part? What's happening?
here's what's happening.
Yeah, tell me what's happening. Listen, I am an action star.
You are.
And I drove 12 minutes to be here.
I drove 16.
16.
Well,
Well,
I got
then
a ride
never
16
mind.
minutes.
That's
Okay.
28 minutes of time.
Yeah, and we have a worthless connection.
Wordless, like
Okay.
like kindred, like a connection that is above and both above and below words.
Above and beyond.
Above and beyond. And then sometimes the answers are being shown to you, and that is part of it.
It is?
Just
Mhm.
don't
Oh,
look. either.
Now
okay.
it's part of it.
Okay.
Now it's part of it.
Now I'm in. Now I get it.
Words you weren't allowed to say there. Brick.
Oh, I said break, didn't I?
You know what? You're doing so great. We're skipping that one. All right. Tig, you're up. You have.
All
Okay.
right.
We're doing that one. All right.
Okay. Well, yeah, I didn't know what the other one was.
I know. We're good.
Okay.
It's great.
So this is a guy that is
That narrows it down.
is
Stop showing it on the screen. What are you doing? Have you not been paying attention? She can see the fucking screen. How are you not learning? How are you not learning that this is a problem? Put that down. Put it down. Yale, get out of there. God damn it. This is a fucked up operation. Trying to run a game
All right,
show
we're not
here.
going to do that one. I'm going to
My
just.
guess is the Secretary of Transportation,
You got it. You got it.
who I did not vote for, even though he's gay.
You've both won the game. Wait, let's do one more. Baby, you go.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All
and
right.
I'm not going to look up. I'm not going to
Don't-
look
yeah,
anywhere.
just like look down, close your eyes. Okay, so this is like a church. It's a place where a lot of gay people hang out. Wait, is gay a word I can use? Yeah,
It's
I
a
can use the gay.
church?
It's a church where a lot of gay people can hang out in a part of town that's like, it's not technically LA, but it's like its own city in LA. And there's not really a priest, but there might be in a typical situation. And
I feel like I
okay,
should look
so
up
a lot
at
of
the
gay
screen.
people, they work on their midsection. Those are their. It's the Abbey.
Is it?
It is. It is.
This was terrible. This was
pride.
terrible.
I'm not.
This
it's
is
my-
what?
It's my first show back in a really long time, and I'm really trying my best.
What is he doing?
I'm not sure. Not trying my
You're
best.
doing great.
Thank you, Tig.
But I don't. I mean, I'm
It's
like
a staff problem, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
It's a problem with the crew.
I wanted to see if I was
you
good
gotta go
at
to
something.
confession.
You're really good at it. Honestly, here's why. The goal, ultimately, beneath the goal, was to have a good time, make people laugh. You know?
We did it.
We did
Wait,
it.
is that it already?
I'm
my
happy
other
to do
answers
another
were-
one.
Let's do one more. Let's do one
more. Let's do one
Don't
more.
look. Don't look.
I
Don't
won't.
look. Don't look at the
I'm not looking
screen.
at the
Look
screens.
down.
I'm not looking
This
at
guy's-
anybody.
I cannot
I'm looking
believe
at
you
my,
won't stop.
my
I
notes.
cannot believe you won't stop doing it. Stop
All right.
doing it.
All right. Don't look up. Did you look up?
No. I swear I didn't. I swear I
Okay.
didn't look.
This is a person, and she tells people things that
Britney
happened
Spears, free Britney.
that happened recently.
Free
Every
Britney.
day, Monday through Friday, she tells people.
Siri, Alexa.
No. People tune in to know what's going on in her opinion. Why am I? She has an opinion and she has a short haircut.
Tig Notaro.
No. No.
But getting warmer.
Yeah, getting warmer.
I need one more hint.
She lives in New York. She does not have a husband.
Okay, that eliminates Ivanka Trump.
But like, she's not on CNN.
What is she on? That's the question. What is she on?
She is. She does not have a husband. She has short hair. She lives in New York. She is not on CNN, and she tells people about, things that recently are happening that day.
I'm at a loss.
Are you serious?
I was gonna say Sarah Jessica Parker, but she's got long hair. What?
Sarah Jessica Parker? How
You
does
know.
she tell people what happened?
Sex of the City, baby.
No, like, there was this political thing happened, or like this tornado happened.
This political
Tornado?
tornado. Oh no, the virus. Those recent kind of things. Not on CNN with short hair. She lives in upstate New York. Why am I?
I'm so lost. I'm so lost.
Do you know what she might do?
She might be an actress or a politician.
No, she goes on TV that's not CNN. And
Fox.
Here's what I want to know, Tig.
What?
Do you want me to stop this? Or are you having fun? It's really up to you.
I do. I want to go on to the next. Well, actually, I want to know the answer.
The answer was
Rachel Maddow.
Oh, God.
all right, last.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Actually, honestly, I think that's a great answer for Pride. Like, who lives in New York, doesn't have a husband, and tells you what's going on? My answer is Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah. When does she tell people what's going on?
Maybe. Final clue.
All right.
Okay. All right. This is going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough one.
Actually, I've got two left, so I'm going to pick the tougher of the two.
Ooh.
I would pick the easier
All right.
of the two.
So it's a movie. It was also a stage performance where people sing. I can't say a certain
Annie.
word. What?
Annie.
No. It's also a sequel.
Annie.
No. Okay, so it's where
Greece?
No, that's also a good guess, but it's a place where I don't know. It's a Greek island, and I think. Wait, I hope to God that's true. I think it's a Greek island. I think it's a sequel. I think it's an actress who knows how to do it all, and
Is it me?
No, and it's not me either. It's also a musical group that was like really well known in the 70s. Andy Gibb. No, actually not Andy Gibb. Never mind. But it's a movie really popular. Na 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 na. Da 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 da. Na na na. Da 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 da.
The Bee Gees? Why'd you say the Bee Gees?
I thought it was. It's like I feel like related, but not really. Oh, da na 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 da 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 da.
I think you're doing really good.
Ba, ba,
Is that doing anything for you?
Doo.
No.
Mamma Mia 2.
It was Mamma Mia 2.
Oh.
Not
No,
one, but
not
two. That's why I was like, this is hard. Number 2. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm barely going with number 1, but number 2.
There's no way.
I don't know how this is possible, but this is both the worst segment and the best segment we've ever done in the history of Love It or Leave It.
Yeah.
Tig Notaro, Maybe a Girl. This was incredible. Thank
you
you
so
so much.
much.
It was so nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. When we come back. Oh, yeah, we're saying about you. Oh, you're going to kiss her hand again? Yeah, okay. That's so cool.
Can I take this mic?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Take that with you.
But you were going to say when we come back.
Oh, yeah. When we come back, I lost the card with what's next. If we have a great conversation about the work of the Trans Justice Fund. Check it out. Marriage equality. For decades, it was a threat to society itself. Republican politicians across the country fanned prejudice and enshrined bigotry into state laws and constitutions. And then, just like that, they lost. Marriage equality became the law of the land. Society survived, and right-wing politicians went searching for their next target. And so this Pride is a moment of unprecedented visibility for trans people and the issues facing the trans community. But it's also a pride defined by a very real threat to the lives of trans people, especially trans kids, with bills targeting youth sports and healthcare popping up in state legislature all across America. So we've assembled some of the best folks around to celebrate Pride and help us figure out what we can do to help in these fights. Gabriel Foster is the executive director of the Trans Justice Funding Project, which is what we're raising money for today. Danica Roem is the first out transgender person to be elected to the Virginia General Assembly and the first to both be elected and serve while openly transgender in any U.S. state legislature. And Andrea Jenkins is a writer, performance artist, poet, and first African-American openly trans woman to be elected to office in the United States. Welcome to all of you. Happy Pride. Thank you so much for being here.
Happy Pride to you as well.
Pride.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
You know, this has been a really hard year. It's been a really hard year in terms of a pandemic. It was a really chaotic and brutal election year with a lot of anxiety along the way, culminating in an insurrection. And it's also been a time defined by an assault on the rights of trans people in this country. As you look back on this year and as we're in this sort of summer of emerging, you know, Gabriel, I want to start with you. Like, how are you feeling as you head into these sort of fights to come?
you know, as a part of TJFP, and including the donors and the people who give their money and their time, but also like spread the word on Instagram or Facebook or social media. Like this is really a community labor of love that I hope is as regenerating to other people as it is to me, and just reaffirms that like there's so much power. There's so much power in what people can do if we can come together and find our purpose and find our place and move something. And so that's the thing that, you know, despite it all, like just again, like gives me hope at the end of the day, and gives me a sense of purpose too, because I get to contribute to this as well.
Andrea, have you, Gabriel mentioned your work with the Trans Justice Funding Project. And look, before we started, let's just face it, you came on and you said, you're only doing this because we're supporting the Trans Justice Project. You could give a shit about Love It or Leave It. And I respect the hell out of that. So can you talk a little bit about like what you've sort of taken from your time working with the Trans Justice Funding Project, and kind of what lessons you've learned from it?
We gave away $1.3 million this year. The first year, we gave away $55,000. So the level of growth and the number of organizations that TGFP is able to support, lift up, highlight is just incredible. 308 organizations you said this year, Gabriel? Phenomenal. Just incredible. And these people are doing organizing all around the country. And not just for trans people, as Gabriel mentioned. One of the things that you didn't mention, Jon, in your sort of recap of this past year is that we also had the murder of George Floyd, which was right here in my district, which also spurred a conversation around white supremacy and racial reckoning, not only here in the United States, but all around the world. And quite interestingly, trans people of color were at the forefront of starting those marches, leading that movement. Black Visions Collective, which is queer and trans led, has been on the forefront of talking about shifting how we keep our communities safe, which is a conversation that we all are impacted by and all have a responsibility to be a part of.
So Danica, you're on the front lines of this fight, both as I think for a lot of people, the first trans politician they've ever seen. Maybe for some people, the first trans person they've ever met in real life while you've been campaigning. I know you've talked about that in the past. You've also been part of these fights inside the legislature, and have been able to win some fights. In Virginia, there was a trans bathroom bill that was defeated. Can you talk a little bit about like what you've taken from the fights of the past few years in the legislature?
Well, the thing I would tell you about the fights of the last few years in the legislature that applies to today is that you have to understand going into these policy fights, when Republicans were in control versus when Democrats are in control now, that you cannot be nihilistic about this. Despondency does not create legislation. Despondency will not get your bills passed, no matter how bad it gets. You have to find that well of reserve that you can tap on to actually, be optimistic enough to want to pursue public policy so that you can not only defeat bad bills, but you can eventually be in a place to pass good bills. We've now passed about 24, actually more than 24 pieces of pro-LGBTQ pieces of legislation since January of 2020. And we have passed more pro-LGBTQ quality bills in the last 2 years than the prior 4 centuries of Virginia government combined. 4 centuries. dating back to the 1619 founding of the Virginia House of Burgesses, which is the same year, by the way, that the first enslaved Africans arrived at Fort Monroe here in Virginia against their will, and actually built this Commonwealth and built this, what was then a colony, built what is now, the Commonwealth, even though they did not have a say and they were forced into doing it. And by the way, I spent Juneteenth in Dumfries, standing at a ceremony there where it was a historic slave cemetery. And you came to realize that while you stand there, that the very people that Juneteenth was supposed to be about never got to experience it from who we were standing, in the area where we were standing on at the time, because they died. And in my district, in the 13th district, in the little community of Thoroughfare, there's a brewery that cleared out a historic Black and Native American cemetery over there because they didn't know that it was there. But this is one of those things where we have to recognize that very often when Black people in America were killed or they died, especially in this time, they weren't given etchings on a headstone the way that you and I know them. There was a simple rock placed in the ground, a stone. That was it, right? Now, the reason I mention all of that, and I want to tie it back to this, is that every fight for justice that we have, every fight for inclusivity that we have, that we fight for, every fight for equity, we have to remember the intersections where all of this comes together, right? We have to remember that what happens to one group one day, it can happen to another group the next day, right? When it's negative, at the same time, the positive policy wins that we actually have. We can do this across the board. And just because trans people have a good day in Virginia one day, doesn't mean we can't help immigrants another day. Doesn't mean we can't help people of color. Doesn't mean we can't help women. We can't help whoever it is. We can do all of this. We like to say, it's about chewing gum and walking at the same time. I think it's a little bit more complex than that, but at the same time, I very, very much do think that if the people who we work to elect have the wherewithal to have the empathy needed to listen and to use our platforms to elevate historically underrepresented, communities, then at that same time, we're all lifting and we're all rising together. We're all doing this together and we're all in it together to make, in our case, Virginia a more inclusive Commonwealth, and nationally, our United States a more inclusive America. That's the goal.
Sometimes I think what's amazing to me about Pride is it's an opportunity to say not just that LGBT people should be tolerated, not just that we don't deserve worse than what other people have, not just that we're not a threat, not just that trans people don't pose a threat to athletics, to schools, to whatever have you, but that actually gay people, trans people, LGBT people bring something good and wonderful to our world, worth celebrating, not just worth tolerating, worth celebrating. What does Pride mean to you in terms of not just the bad stuff we stop, but the good stuff that LGBT people offer to this world?
Yeah, I think of it as not as a reflection and an honoring, and also a time to make offerings for folks. I want to do this work, or I want to live in this life to do something different for the 15 or 16-year-old version for Gabriel, right? I want to be able to participate and make sure that someone who, whether they're a teenager or not, wherever they're located, that they know that there's a lot of different ways to celebrate Pride, but also it's about taking action and making sure that we can celebrate and honor or do whatever, but also that we can make sure it's extended beyond my friend group that I want to go drinking with on Pride, right? Or it can extend beyond the city that I live in for the folks who are in rural communities and small towns, the people that don't get to go to an actual Pride celebration or parade. I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing is supporting and honoring and uplifting and resourcing the folks that don't have that opportunity or could use it more, right? There are plenty of people that live in places like I do too, or have had similar experiences, but it doesn't mean that their work or their visions, their solutions to violence and criminalization are honored and resourced. So I really do think as much as I want to have a good time, I also want to make something better than what we have now for the folks, not just in the future, but for the folks tomorrow. And I think we all have an opportunity to do this. I think, this conversation is really helpful, and hopefully for other people who haven't really considered all the different ways that like Pride can be celebrated and honored, and how we can really like pitch in and whatever that means, or whatever we're able to do to make sure that like this gets to be a day of like honoring, reckoning, and celebration as well.
Danica, what is how do you think of Pride in that context, about a moment to not just stop those that would attack the rights of LGBT people, but a moment to celebrate the good that LGBT people bring?
Well, let's should be super dramatic about it. I don't think you could necessarily say that the entire war was won because of a single gay man, but Alan Turing absolutely contributed to the Allied victory of World War II as a gay man who was later prosecuted for being a gay man. And this is someone who was, one of the ultimate code breakers, right, in the Battle of the Atlantic. This is someone who, just as an Englishman who had put himself out there to help the entire world, was later chemically castrated when he was found to have, basically engaged in or have broken indecency law, right? And he died shortly thereafter. That is kind of the legacy of, how a lot of LGBTQ people over the years have been treated, right? Even in doing good things and doing heroic things, that the second someone finds out that they're LGBTQ, they're automatically dismissed and shunned into society, or shunned away from society. And I think that's just kind of an example that I want to show of, look at the things we can contribute. LGBTQ people, we make up every sort of demographic group on the planet, right? This is just, it's who we are. And to deny the contributions of LGBTQ people is to deny a very basic tenet of reality and humanity, that we exist and that we do good things and we help. And some of us do stuff that's messed up, and some of us make mistakes, and some of us do everything else. That's part of us too. We're not superhuman, we're just human. And we ask to be treated with that same respect and basic decency of humanity that is extended automatically across the board, or at least it should be.
Andrea, over to you. I wanted to add, if you have anything to add, just sort of reflections on Pride, building off what Gabriel and Danica said.
Boy, I think both of their responses were pretty brilliant. I think Pride really reminds me that there's just so much more work to do. Trans women, this is one of the most violent years for trans and gender nonconforming people on record. And I believe that part of the reason why so many trans and gender nonconforming people are women of color particularly, are in these precarious situations is because we don't have access to housing. We don't have full access to safe and affordable health care, to employment, to job training, to education. And, I think that this time of year really brings those issues to light. But it is a time, as I said earlier, to connect with old friends. Literally, I have a whole set of acquaintances that I probably only see at Pride, and so it's an opportunity to kind of reconnect and have those kinds of reunions that fuel us for the next year and lets us know that community is how big and strong our community is, because it's easy as you're going through day-to-day challenges of life to forget that there is a whole community out there that's struggling and fighting to effectuate full equity and equality. And so I think that's the beauty of Pride, is to have those connections and make those reconnections.
Really beautifully said. And I hope people do support the Trans Justice Funding Project. It is putting money into the hands of local organizations run by and for trans people all across the country, selected by people who really dig into what can do the most good for the most people all over America. Gabriel Foster, Danica, Roem, Andrea Jenkins, thank you so much for your time. Happy Pride, and thank you for all the work that you're doing this Pride to keep up this fight.
Cheers, my dear.
Cheers.
And we're back. I want to thank Andrea Jenkins, Danica. And we're back. I want to thank Andrea Jenkins, Danica, Roem, and Gabriel Foster for that conversation and for the work of the Trans Justice Funding Project. We're at 42,500. We've blown through our goal, but I know that we can keep doing a bit better. So if you can support the Trans Justice Funding Project, it really does put money like right into local organizations that every dollar helps. These are not places with big what do you call them? What does Harvard have? A trust fund? No, what is it called? Endowment. They don't have fucking endowments. Donate. That's all I'm saying. Corporations. Since they're people, that means they can be gay people too, and that's inclusivity. But the funny thing about these pride-waving multinational conglomerates is that they have a nasty habit of giving money to politicians who do our community a lot of harm. It's almost as if they view a young, cosmopolitan, diverse, queer, engaged online audience as customers worth harvesting, but not actually worth a moral stand when it comes to keeping politicians, even hateful ones, receptive to their calls. Because corporations are amoral by design, unfeeling, and made to serve the interests of the corporation exclusively. Which means it's time for a game we call Rainbows in the Tweets, Stars and Bars in the Sheets. Here to play, we have Keep Its Own Ira Madison, the third. Are we dropping the third? Are we losing the third? I don't know. There's just, people are talking.
The pandemic died.
The pandemic killed the third. And Louis Virtel. We didn't have a proper hello because I fucked up your intro.
It's fine.
Hi boys.
Hi.
So good to see you both. Thanks for being here.
Ira is wearing shorts like he's Bjorn Borg, just not professional at all.
I mean, you know what? He pulls it off, and that's why you're mad.
Okay.
Is that on? It's not on.
Is this one on?
Is that one on? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Before we start, just one thing that's been on my mind tonight. What is a circuit party, and do you know? Because I legit don't know what it means when people say. I'm not joking. Like, I know that I've literally been embarrassed to ask, what is the circuit? What circuit?
The deal is it's a warehouse party type situation where I'll say a muscular type hangs out, dances, there might be some drugs involved, and it's called a circuit because they go all over the country. There'll be like a big party in one city and then another party elsewhere.
And there's like an email list or something, I assume.
And what I always do at a circuit
yes, they have
party-
the internet. Yeah.
What I always do at a circuit party is drink my Jura whiskey.
Louis, who's the gayest straight person to win an acting Oscar?
Gayest straight person to win an Tilda Swinton.
Got it. That's great.
Yeah.
Ira, is the fact that you were banned from Twitter for briefly impersonating Beto O'Rourke and saying you'd release nudes if Democrats won Texas, was that a hate crime? What happened to you?
It was a hate crime.
I agree.
Thank you. Also, when I did it, Jack did DM me and call me a faggot.
No, he didn't. Don't try to Chrissy Teigen, Jack.
Well,
those DMs aren't real. People are making up DMs.
Then Jack should prove it.
What does that mean? How can you prove you didn't send a DM?
If you heard the way he said it, it was really nice.
All right, here's how the game works. I'm going to tell you a fact about a corporation which uses pride to take our money and then give it to politicians who do harm, and you tell us if it's true or not.
Okay.
All right? You'll compete. Bonus points if I need you to guess the company. I'm not going to make you do that. There's no bonus points.
All right. Strictly by the book.
Louis, a company created a virtual online pride world complete with computer-generated floats, rainbow flags, and pronoun guide for employees. That same company had donated over $1.1 million to anti-LGBTQ politicians since 2019.
That strikes me as not only true, but standard. Yes.
Yeah. It's true, standard, and Comcast. You got it.
Oof.
Ira, Skittles took away the rainbow from their candies, selling monochrome bags of the fruity candy that say, "There's only one rainbow that matters during Pride."
That sounds ugly.
Yeah. Is it true or false?
Oh, I think false.
It's true. Skittles really did that.
Oh, well, that's why I don't eat Skittles.
I remember this campaign because the package is black and white. They took away the rainbow for the month, right? Yeah.
Never been a Skittles person.
M&M's.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who eats Skittles?
I don't get Skittles.
Yeah. You know who eats Skittles? Jack.
Classic Jack. Classic Jack. Lewis, over to you. In a rainbow-colored Instagram post, Lucky Charms only hinted, that Lucky the Leprechaun is pansexual.
That's it. That's all I got. Hinted that he was pansexual. I'll say true because hint strikes me as something you can liberally define.
False.
Damn it.
False. A company tweeted, Ira, we can hashtag turn up the love for LGBTQ plus youth together, along with a rainbow of heart emojis. In the last 2 years, this same company has donated to sponsors of anti-trans legislation in 5 different states.
I think it's true, and I think it was Crooked Media.
How dare you? Oh, please. Please. Like, we have that kind of operation. It was AT&T.
I've seen Tommy's check account.
Oh, please. You know damn well Tommy's an ally.
That's true.
A company, Lewis, added a Pride and Joy section to their website. I'm slandering Tommy. Not even here to defend himself. He wasn't invited. He didn't want to come. They had a meeting.
The attention had to stay on you today.
It's my day. It's my month. Don't applaud that. I don't deserve it. Lewis.
Okay.
A company added a Pride and Joy section to their website where you can buy Pride-themed products such as rainbow jewelry, clothing, and party supplies. They've also donated over $400,000 to 121 politicians who got a 0 rating from the Human Rights Campaign in just the last 2 years.
I'm going to say true. I wish the answer would occur to me. And I want to say it's like Claire's Jewelry or something, but it's not.
It was Walmart. It was Walmart.
Okay.
Ira, the NRA ran a social media campaign for Pride featuring 2 women making eyes at each other at a gun range with the tagline, "It's Pride, take your shot." True or false, Ira?
That would have worked on me. I think false.
Correct. It was false. Lewis, over to you. A company tweeted, hashtag Pride is a time of celebration, reflection, visibility, and affirmation for the LGBT community, and they've donated over $100,000 to nearly 50 anti-LGBTQ legislators.
This sounds a lot like the other ones that are true. I'm going to say true.
It is. It's Wells Fargo. A beer producer, Ira, put up a poster of a rainbow-colored bottle of beer next to an LGBTQ acrostic that reads, "Let's grab beers tonight, Queens."
Ira would say that, for the record.
Yeah, it's okay when we say it.
Yeah. Let's grab beers tonight, Queens.
See, now I want one. Yeah.
Such a weird. Yeah,
I feel false.
It was true, and it was Anheuser-Busch.
Oh.
They're also, but they don't sell their beers at Stonewall Inn because of their anti-gay contributions. So. Let's not grab beers tonight, Queens. Not your beers.
Or grab a different beer.
Different beer, for sure.
Yeah, a Zima.
A Zima. Perhaps a Zima. Perhaps we'll grab a Zima. Lewis, the U.S. Army posted a series of vlogs featuring queer officers on their official YouTube page channel titled, "Please Ask, Do Tell."
Ooh. We need to not be making puns, wordplay based on that anymore. False.
That was true.
No
they really
way.
Did that?
The Army has let me down.
No, they also have been posting videos like what your sign tells you, like where you should be put in the Army. Didn't like it.
That said, I do applaud the renaissance of the phrase "do tell."
Do tell.
It's something a nefarious gay person says in like an old movie.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Yeah, it's like something Iago says.
Yes. Uh-huh.
What would you do in the Army?
Math. I hope.
Okay. I
All
want
right.
to do whatever Pete did.
I think it was Army Intelligence, and then he took a picture.
Yeah. I want to do that.
Yeah, that seems good. That seems good for you. Yeah, I think you'd be a really great. I think you're great at keeping secrets and like having classified information. I think that's like a really good role for you. That's classic. Okay. Give that a shot. Fully end up in jail. I don't know who's up, but for both of you, you can guess. Pfizer released an ad campaign that just had 2 Viagra pills in front of 2 glasses of water, and the tagline said, "Whether it's for one of you or both of you, love is love."
Is this for Ira?
It can be either one of you for the
Oh, God.
steal.
Well, I'm dumbfounded, so I'm going to defer to Ira.
I think no.
I made it up. You're right.
Okay.
And
I didn't know Pfizer did other things.
Like Viagra? You thought they just did the vaccine?
Yeah, I thought they were like a new contender in the game. I'm sorry.
You know what though? Look. I've been a huge fan of Pfizer since well before this latest album.
Why would I Google Pfizer? I don't even have the vaccine. I don't think it's right. What's in it? Who can say?
That's right. No one knows.
Don't take the vaccine if you're listening at home.
Okay. All right. But as if people watching the Crooked Media Pride live stream are vaccine skeptics. There's no overlap on that Venn diagram. Give me a fucking break. And finally, Louis, to you, an ad released in which old gay men told their coming out stories and the struggles they faced.
This is a Shake Shack situation. Go on.
You've got it.
It is
Yes.
for real and true.
The old gays are unshakable. Let's roll a clip.
I was growing up, my father was always trying to out me. Well, here I am, free, proud, and gay as can be. My father suddenly died while I was in college, and I wasn't sure about my future. But here I am today, 78, proud, and still chugging along.
Growing up, I was terrified to come out to my mom.
No more,
but
no
I finally
more.
worked.
Honestly, I gotta tell you, Twist, I love the ad. I love the campaign. Good for Shake Shack. We're too cynical. Agree or disagree?
It's a shocking ad. So I will say I applause because I remember it, but I don't know if that's a good thing. Is it trauma?
It's a trauma.
I think if you survive AIDS, you can do a Shake Shack commercial.
I feel the same way. No, they've earned it.
They lived through it.
It's a check. Yeah.
I know, but it was hard to, the way you said it made it hard to embrace, even though it's true.
Well, because like the implication is like, the people who didn't make it wouldn't do a Shake
Nope.
Shack ad.
Nope.
Which is cool.
We are off the rails. We made it so close to the end without this happening. Louis Virtel, Ira Madison III, thank you so much for being here. That was so
Thanks
funny.
for having us.
When,
is this over?
Almost. Wait, where are we on the donations? 44,300, so close to 50. Please donate to the Pride Fund, crooked.com/Pride Fund. Thank you both so much for being here. We're going to a high note. It's the Pride high note. Roll the high note.
Oh, you know how there's a gay cousin in every family? I got news for you. That's me. I'm the gay cousin.
Hi, my name is Izzy, and the queer high note of my life has been my relationship with my wife, Grace, but especially the vow ceremony that we had last summer in my mother's backyard. My mother passed away last summer from stage 4 metastatic cancer, and before she passed away, I said I wanted to have a vow ceremony so that she could attend. My family and my friends all came together to make the day extremely special. We had decorations, we had food, we had fun. My mother stayed awake through the entire thing. We were able to be outside for a long period of the day, and my friends all joined via Zoom, and we had a beautiful vow ceremony that I will never forget. We are having a larger ceremony in 2023 with all of our family, but that is what I consider to be our wedding date, and will remain the high point of my gay life for the rest of my gay life.
Hey, my high note is that I'm just really grateful to be a bi producer at Not Straight Media, and that when I told my gay boss that I would have to miss our virtual pride parade to go to a straight wedding, he said, "That's okay. We don't need you."
I love it. My high note for the year is that for the first time this Pride, I'll be out to my whole family. I didn't plan to do it. I've been a proud queer woman for the last 10 years, and then only come out to my brother by accident when he said, "Oh, you know how there's a gay cousin in every family? I wonder it's ours." And I said, "I got news for you. That's me. I'm the gay cousin." And then he sent me this picture and said, "I know, late last year we had family Zoom, and my uncle made some homophobic joke, and instead of smiling as I would normally do, I just said, you know, can you please not? It's actually very offensive. And he said, oh, I'm just kidding. I would never say this in front of an actually gay person. And I said, guess what? You just did. And it was complete silence, and we started talking about something else. Then right after the Zoom, I got phone calls from some members of my family who were very supportive, and I've never felt freer and more happy. Sometimes people might just surprise you, if even the members of my very conservative Catholic family.
I'm kidding. I've cried way less at this job than I have at previous jobs where I've had straight bosses. So, happy Pride, everyone.
Thank you for everything you do for the La Quapda community.
Thanks. Happy Pride.
Gay news.
And we're back. Thanks to everybody who submitted. Are we back? Thanks to everybody who submitted. Applaud again. They didn't hear it the first time. Thanks everybody who submitted those incredible high notes. And thank you to Travell Anderson, Zach Noe Towers, Adam Rippon, Laci Mosley, Hannah Einbinder, Eliot Glazer, Ronan Farrow, RB, Brendan Scannell, Jared Goldstein, Ira Madison III, Louis Virtel, Danica Roem, Andrea Jenkins, Gabriel Foster, Maebe A. Girl, Tig Notaro, everyone who played, everyone who donated, and everyone who watched. Thank you to our writers, to Jocelyn Kaufman, Peter Miller, Pallavi Ganalan, and Prachi Gupta. Big thank you to the team at Cricket, Brian Semmel, Sandy Gerard, Kyle Seglin, Ari Schwartz, Carolyn Reston, Joel Fowler, Jordan Silver, Ryan Side, Sydney Rapp, Yale Fried, Matt DeGroot, EJ Baker, Elijah Cohn, Justine Howe. Keep applauding through this. I think it'd be better. Alexandra Hernandez, Gabby Leverett, Nara Malconi, and Stephen Colin, and our partners at Odyssey, including Brian Holt and Kevin Seiki. Please continue to support the incredible work of the Trans Justice Funding Project. There are 500 days until the 2022 midterm elections. Have a great weekend, everybody, and happy Pride.